Welcome back to another episode of Lefty's Place. Yes, guys, the Miami Heat have done it. They are into the Eastern Conference Finals after beating the Milwaukee Bucks 103-94 in Game 5, shutting it out like that's it. It seemed like a tight game for most of it, and it was because the Heat were playing like complete garbage for most of it. But my God, we are here. We've made it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the 8th time in our organization's history. I mean, this is huge. Even though we have pretty much made it through these playoffs like pretty easy, this is a huge accomplishment, guys. And we need to just understand that. We need to understand how big this is for us as fans, for the organization, for the players, the coaches. I mean, this is unbelievable. 8-1 heading into the conference finals. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expected the Heat to do this well in the playoffs. To absolutely demolish the Bucks. I mean, I understand it looked kind of shaky without Giannis, but the thing is, I'm actually going to get into that very soon, because we're just going to talk about the game, and then we're going to talk about the matchups that we have coming up ahead in the Eastern Conference Finals. So, just getting off my initial thoughts on this game, I mean, this was an absolutely terrible game from the Miami. I mean, they sucked flat out. They had about 22 turnovers? 21 turnovers in this game. 21 turnovers. That's ridiculous. That's going back to like the beginning of the season when they were just so turnover prone. It was absolutely terrible. Jimmy Butler had probably his worst first half. Honestly, probably one of his worst games as a Heat player. Even though he had 17 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, it just felt like at the end of the game, he did what he had to do. You get a guy like that, he gets a max contract, he has to win it for you at the end like that. But to start this game, it was easily the worst he's been in a Heat uniform. So for us to still be close after all that, I had high hopes, especially with that start in the second quarter. We just looked so good, we looked focused. But the thing is, after what Eric Spoelstra said during that interview between the first and second quarter, it kind of like calmed me down, because I was livid after that first quarter, as I'm sure plenty of you Heat fans were, because that was just atrocious. They looked completely lost, sloppy, and it did not look good for us. But they held it down. They held it down, and that's because we have such great leadership up top for this team. UD probably just screamed at them during that break, and Spoelstra was obviously, making sure that everyone stayed level-headed. Iggy, Jimmy, we have great leadership on this team, and it obviously showed heading into that second quarter. Chris Middleton still had a really good game. He had 23 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. He still played pretty solid, but he did not dominate the way he did in Game 4. That he just did not allow it, and that's because of the game planning from the coaches. Obviously, not having Giannis for this entire game helped the Heat. But, I mean, did it really? I mean, whenever Giannis was on the floor, other than in that little spurt in Game 4, the Heat absolutely dominated the Bucks with Giannis on the floor. So, I honestly, with him there, without him there, I don't think it would have mattered. But, of course, it obviously helps not having the MVP on the other side. But, I mean, let's just talk about some of the unsung heroes in this game. And to me, the player of the game here was Tyler Hero. I mean, my God, is this kid growing up before our eyes? 20 years old, and he's dominating, like, really important playoff games against the top-seeded Bucks? I mean, I said it to my friend. I was FaceTiming my friend in this game. We've got a superstar here. That's it. I'm saying it. We got a superstar in the making, because he can obviously hit any shot you need him to. But then he's got the inside game. I mean, that one floater he got, like literally falling out of bounds with 2 players on him, that was one of the biggest buckets in the game, because it was when the game was slowed down. The Bucks, kind of was trying to get momentum back to take the lead, and we weren't playing well. We were turning the ball over, missing shots. There was like a stretch of 8 possessions where we went 0 for 4 and 4 turnovers. And then that's when Hero came through with that clutch bucket. And it's just been like that all series. But in this game specifically, I mean, with his 14 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, a block, and that block on George Hill, oh my God. They tried, the refs tried calling a foul on that. They tried. But we had that challenge. The players love, that's the players' favorite thing now. I just can't stand it when the Bucks and freaking Brook Lopez is just like, what are you talking about? Or George Hill, Eric Bledsoe. I mean, they're gone now, though. They're gone. They got so many questions to answer. You know, second year in a row they have the best record in the NBA. Second year in a row they get crashed out of the playoffs. And this time it's by your Miami Heat, guys. Your Miami Heat. Like, we're here. We're in the conference finals. Like, what? Like, I mean, I had faith that the Heat were going to be a good team this year. I mean, I thought best case scenario, we make the conference finals. We beat the Bucks, and then we go up against the Celtics, who, you know, who we're kind of like badly matched up against. But that was back when we didn't have Jay Crowder and Iguodala. Now we actually match up pretty well against them because we can throw a lot of bodies at their wing players. The one player that really hurts me, that really scares me in this game, if we do play the Celtics, is Kemba Walker. Because that point of attack, you know, we don't have really good guards there. I mean, obviously now that we have so many, you know, good defenders that we can throw, maybe we can throw like an Iggy on him. And that's actually the one I would feel most comfortable with, even though Kemba's super quick. But that, like, I was actually telling my friend, the way that the Milwaukee Bucks are playing without Giannis, you know, with the spacing, the driving kick, that's a lot of how the Celtics play. They have a lot of those players that can just be on the three-point line, drive in, kick it, and we struggled against that. Clearly, the way we were playing against them, I didn't feel comfortable. I'm sure you guys didn't feel comfortable either. You know, the way they played with Giannis there, we looked dominant. So, but that's obviously not going to be the same if we take on, honestly, either the Toronto Raptors or the Celtics. So that's got me a little worried that the Heat, but honestly, now that we've won, Spoelstra's going to have a few days to game plan, and, you know, for either team, I feel like we have an upper hand in this series. I mean, we're going to obviously have the better coaching. I do not care that Nick Nurse won Coach of the Year. We have the best coach in the NBA in Eric Spoelstra. He's proven it time and time again, and he's proved it again in this game. Just being able to you know, be calm under pressure and lead his guys to this series win. And I mean, the one guy I really need more from is Bam Adebayo. I mean, he's been great all series. This is actually his worst game the entire playoffs, and I don't understand how that could be. I mean, I understand Brook Lopez is a great defensive player. I mean, he just got second team all defense this year, like we just found out. But, I mean, Bam Adebayo cannot allow his matchup to dictate the way the game goes for him. He's too good. He's too quick, too strong. He needs to get more confident and just take players. Like, there was one time when Bam was heading down the floor on a fast break, and he had, like, I don't know who it was. It was either Dante DiVincenzo or maybe Chris Middleton, but either way, he needs to attack that. He needs to put them in a position where they actually need to be careful on the fast break against Bam, but instead he hesitates. He doesn't. We need a more aggressive Bam Adebayo in the next series if we're going to make it to the finals. But honestly, even without that, I mean, I'm happy. I mean, we all have to be happy. I mean, obviously now we're like, we want to make it to the finals. That's obviously how we're feeling. We want the finals. We want to face whoever the hell it is in the Western Conference to have a shot at a title. Our 4th freaking title in Heat history. We want that. But even if we lose in the conference finals, this was such a successful season. This has been such a successful season for the Miami Heat, guys. I mean, probably you have to say, I know there was a lot of talk and fight on the floor with who, like which season is the funnest or most liked team in Heat history. And the 03-04 team obviously comes up as the number one. But now, that's got to change. This has to be on the number 1 spot. Nobody thought this team was going to make it this far other than a few national guys. Only a few. And I guarantee you, even those guys did not expect them to be this dominant in the playoffs. But they have been, and they look primed to make the next series like a really close one, whoever they face. So overall, this was a huge victory for your Miami Heat. I'm hyped. I got the dragon headband on, even though he kind of struggled early. He came through in the end, and he, still once again, just whenever we needed a bucket, he was able to come through. Even though, like I saw a couple people saying on Twitter, I am afraid that us giving him so many minutes. I mean, he played 33 tonight as well. I feel like that could be hurting him a little bit now. Good thing he's going to get some rest before the next series. But heading into this conference finals, we need him at full force. And how about Kendrick Nunn coming through? I mean, he was looking kind of unplayable in Game 4, but now in Game 5, I mean, he played really well. I liked the way he was poised. He didn't miss a couple shots, but I mean, what did he have? He had 6 points, 2 rebounds. He was a plus 14 in his 21 minutes. That's huge. That's huge. You can get, if you get that from Kendrick Nunn when he's on the floor, I'm satisfied. And that's what he needs. He doesn't need to be as dominant as he was in the regular season. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But I mean, he can give you a game where he goes 10 plus points, a couple assists, and he just needs to play in the offense. He can't force shots, which he did not in this game. But he was aggressive when he had the opportunities, and that is going to be vital. Oh my God, I cannot forget to talk about Kelly O coming back in this game. He was huge in this game. I mean, he obviously caused so many troubles for the Bucks whenever he had the ball in his hands. Just like the way he's able to, fake guys out, and the way he faked out Brooke Lopez on that fast break. The splash mountain just soared over him, and then just easy finish. Loved what I saw from Kelly O. Duncan Robinson and Jay Crowder. The man just continues to just light it up from the 3-point line. I mean, you saw Giannis's face after Jay Crowder made that ridiculous 3-point shot. He's just like, what? Like, what? How is this man hitting these? I mean, I understand. This guy was not supposed to do this for us, but he's doing it consistently, and you gotta expect that for the rest of the season for us. So I'm super excited for what the Heat have to offer us for these Eastern Conference Finals. It's going to be a really exciting series, no matter who we face. And we did beat the Boston Celtics right before the end of the bubble, so I'm feeling good against either team. I mean, come on, guys. Cocky Heat fan is back. So let's keep it going. Let's ride this, and that's going to finish it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this little reaction recap of the game right after. I'm going to keep doing this for you guys, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for any future videos, and I will catch you next time.